This wonderful bed of ornamental onions is part of a much larger display at the RHS Harlow Car Gardens in Yorkshire. I grow ornamental onions myself, but when this turned up in my garden last summer, I must admit I was quite startled and not certain what it was at first. I've always enjoyed growing onions, whether it's the eating kind or whether it's the ornamental kind. But I have to say, I was quite concerned when something strange turned up in the onion bed this summer. Was it a serpent or was it a snake in the grass? The onion family produces quite a range of plants, from the small clump formers like chives, which you can see here, and this is the drumstick garlic, and this is very attractive to bees, as you can see. And then we get to the ones that grow up on tall sticks, and this is the straightforward Dutch allium. And then we look at some of the more common ones, purple sensation, which has got beautiful flowers when you look at them, especially when you get in really close up and you can see how delicate they are. And once again, say all of these plants are attractive to bees. The one thing you have to be careful of is that they're very promiscuous and they will cross quite readily. So if you want to maintain the strain, and you can see a seed head in full flow, they will cross. So what you grow from seed won't necessarily be what you planted. Carry it out as an experiment if you want, but as I say, you can use them ornamentally, allow them to dry like this. You can then pick them, spray them if you want with silver paint or something like that. Now we're looking at what I bought as an Allium Mount Everest, and I thought it was much larger than that, but it was quite a small plant. And when I bought fresh bulbs this year, I found the bulbs that I bought this year were much larger than the ones I planted back last spring. So I think it could be Allium multibulbosum that I planted. So I'm trying again this year to see what happens. And here we go through. This is looking at Allium Purple Rain, which is quite starry when you look at it. It opens up, and it's both for the flower head. But whilst we're looking at flower heads, this is the elephant garlic, and this is escape. And the one thing you must do as soon as these emerge is cut them off, remove them, to swell the bulb. Otherwise, you'll end up with small bulbs. But you can actually eat it because the green bit, the flowering stalk, is quite tender, and you can eat it as ordinary garlic. This is another form of production. This is Babington's leek. And you can see with this, it sends up the scape, but it produces seeds. But before the seed is produced, you get tiny little bulblets, little leaflets growing on the plant itself, and you can take these off. They're known as pips, and you can take them off and you just propagate them and grow this way. But this is what happened to me. This suddenly turned up in the middle of a bed of ornamental onions as I was growing. And I thought, what's this? I've not planted anything at all. The head went up, and then it came down and began to look as if it was like a serpent getting ready to strike. And I began to look at it. I thought, well, is it elephant garlic? Is it Babington's leek? And in the end, it turned out to be Rocambole. And you can see why they call it serpent grass. It grew about 1.5 meters tall, and I just enjoyed growing it. And look at the stalk, you can see it here, it coiled, it went one way, it went the other. And it's quite spectacular. I was waiting to see if, like with the Babington's leek, if it produced any little leaflets, but it didn't. So in the end, I just allowed it to run until the end of August, early September, and then I began to dig it up. And you can see the bulb now, we're just approaching it, and it's there. And you can eat the bulbs or you can replant them. I'll save a couple of the larger ones. There's probably 2 or 3 there at most. It's the hard neck types of garlic that flower, and they don't keep as well as the soft neck. So I'm not expecting these bulbs to keep much beyond Christmas. So the ones that I am going to eat, I'll use as quickly as possible, and the others I will replant as quickly as possible. Diolch, and thank you for watching. Goodbye for now, but if you would like to see any more, please hit the subscribe and like buttons.